Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my review of the Nike Space Hippie 4. So this shoe is going for 130 bucks, and if you guys do want to get it, I'll leave a link in the description box. But let's get it started off right away with the traction. So for the traction, as you guys can see, there's absolutely no rubber. The only rubber that's used here is in the forefoot, and that's literally here right at the tip of the toe. And then I guess the entire heel is made out of rubber. But the really cool thing is that they're using recycled rubber for this, right? So of course that's better for the environment. And if you guys look at the rubber, it looks pretty thick, so durability seems like it's gonna be good. One thing I am worried about is the actual midsole. So if you guys look, basically throughout the entire forefoot and here in the midfoot, it's just the foam midsole that's coming into contact with the ground. But to be honest, Nike does this all the time in the runners, and it's not a huge deal. Obviously, if there was rubber, it would be a little bit more durable. Like for example, in my Epic Reacts, I wear those a lot, and there's a lot less wear on the shoe than I actually expected, you know? So I'm not super worried about the durability of this outsole. Moving on to the heel to toe transition, is super smooth. Heel to toe transition is important to me because I just like a very fluid movement when I'm walking, you know, not only when I'm playing ball and not only when I'm running, but also walking, you know. Walking, of course, when we're wearing shoes, we go heel first, and then I just like to have this nice rocking motion, and you have a lot of flex throughout the shoe. So it just feels very smooth. I really like walking around in it. And as far as the cushion goes, so they're calling this a crater foam midsole, and basically Nike made this from recycling all of their like scrap foam. And if you look closely, you can see like different colors of foam, which I think is pretty cool. And for some reason, when I first saw this, I thought they were using like scrap foam as like in, you know, React or Lunarlon, like, you know, like nice foams, but it's actually not. And if you think about it, Nike uses a lot of Phylon in their shoes, so obviously they're gonna have a lot of scrap Phylon, and that's what it feels like here. It's not soft at all. It feels super stiff, especially right underneath your foot. So the insole, I guess, is nice, kind of, so that kind of improves step and comfort just a little bit. But then of course, once the insole is all the way compressed and your foot is basically on the stroll board, which is super stiff, it's not super comfortable. And if you're looking for a shoe that has great cushioning, this is not it. Stay away from this shoe. Like, it looks super thick also, you know, you're like, oh damn, look at that, you know, look at the heel. There's like absolutely no compression, you know. If you look at the actual footage, I'd say there's a little bit, but for the most part, it's not comfortable. So that was a very big disappointment for me. I thought it was gonna be super nice for some reason. So there's the cushioning. Moving on to the materials. So they're calling this space waste yarn, which is kind of interesting. But the actual upper is made from 75% recycled materials by weight. So from like plastic bottles, from t-shirts, and like yarn scraps, which is really cool. And by the way, 25% of the weight of this entire shoe is made from recycled material. So good job on Nike. We definitely need to look towards the future and making a cleaner world for the future generations. But anyways, the materials are great. It's literally a yarn material throughout this entire upper. There's absolutely no padding. There's no foam anywhere on this upper, which I don't think is a bad thing. And when you put this shoe on, it literally feels like a sock. It's super thin. It conforms to your foot very well. It's not super stretchy though. The only stretchy part of this upper is here in the heel. It's kind of like a pull tab, I would say. And then the tongue is slightly stretchy as well. Here on the lateral and medial side, as well as here in the toe box area, there's really no stretch. Also here on the lateral side, the swoosh is stitched onto the upper, which I think is cool. Also, another cool thing about this shoe is that there's basically fly wire, kind of, not really. It's not acting like any type of support here for lateral containment, but there are strings running, I guess, parallel to the shoe, and you can basically lace up the shoes any way you want. And I guess you can customize the fit a little bit. You really don't need to though, because the material just conforms to your foot really well. But for the most part, the materials are very nice. And now moving on to the fit, I went true to size, and it fits my foot very well. You know, lengthwise, I was good to go. Widthwise, I would say it's like normal. And as far as dead space goes, there's really no dead space. And I love it when shoes that have a really thin and nice knit upper has a really tight fit, because over time, when you break it in, knit materials like this do stretch out. So it does get roomier. So I like to have a snug fit at first. And in my personal opinion, it just feels better, you know, when it's a softer knit. So yeah, for the most part, I would suggest most people go true to size. If you have a wide foot or you want like a roomier fit, I would suggest going up half a size. Also, another thing I really like about the shoe is that you never have to like worry about the laces. You know, once you tie it, you're good to go. And you never really have to untie the shoes if you want to take it off. It's super easy to just slip on like a slipper, and it's also super easy to take off. Here in the heel, I guess you have a little bit of a pull tab, and it also says Nike. And then here on top of the tongue, there is a pull tab, and it says 04 because this is a Space Hippie 4. Alright, as far as support and lockdown goes, I mean, obviously this is just a casual shoe, so you shouldn't really be like working out in it, you shouldn't be running in it. Running in it was not very fun for me, especially because of the stiffer cushion, and you probably shouldn't train in this shoe either because there's literally no lateral support. So obviously, yes, I do know this is a casual shoe, but sometimes at the gym, I see some people working out in the weirdest shoes, and I literally don't know how they do it. But yeah, I would not suggest getting this to work out in. Alright, moving on to the weight. This shoe is gonna be pretty damn light. Yeah, so 9.17 ounces. So yeah, super duper light shoe. You do feel kind of high up off the ground because the cushion is pretty thick. And just for an added bonus, you do get like 2 inches taller, I would say, if you do wear this shoe. So if you want to be a little bit taller, get a pair of these and you should be good to go. Or better yet, you should get the Air Max 720. You can be like 5 inches taller. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, yeah, it's a very, very light and minimal shoe. As far as the ventilation goes, it's super duper good. There's a lot of airflow throughout this upper because it is a knit material, and there's no underlaying material or anything. It's literally just this knit upper. So your foot's gonna be very, very cool in this shoe. Alright, moving on to the aesthetics. I'm a little indifferent. I feel like they're pretty dope, you know, but my girl said they look like shit. And also my roommate was like, what the hell are those, man? Those are ugly. So, and they're just like regular people, you know, they're not like sneakerheads or anything. They don't really know anything about shoes. So when they saw, there's like, no, that's they don't like it. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this shoe. What do you guys think aesthetically? Tell us down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up. All right, so for me personally, as far as like a casual shoe goes, I want my shoes to be very, very comfortable. And in my opinion, a comfortable shoe is a shoe that has a very, very soft upper and a very, very comfortable and soft cushioning setup. And this shoe does half of that. You know, it has a very, very nice, thin, very comfortable upper, which I really, really like, but the cushioning was not there. So yeah, because of that, I didn't really like the shoe that much. Like seriously, this foam literally feels like styrofoam. It feels like styrofoam and I was just like walking around on it. It felt like cheap and stuff like that, you know? But if you don't mind a stiffer cushion and you like to have a very, very soft upper and you like the way it looks, and you're willing to pay 130 bucks, then go ahead and cop this shoe. But like I said, don't expect anything really at all from this cushioning setup. So that about wraps up this review. Again, if you guys do want to get this shoe, I'll leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.